when you're jacked, you're gonna lose stamina. In tennis, the number one thing you need to make sure you can do is have a lot of stamina and you can run around the court. When you have super jacked, you have a lot of weight. You have a lot of weight on your upper body, and that's gonna result in you losing stamina quicker. So let me tell you a few stories to like help you understand this. So I had like a friend. I might show the video on the hitting, but you've probably seen it maybe like on other videos. He's incredibly jacked in like upper body. However, when we practice, like I'm not kidding with you, he takes like a water break every 3 minutes, and he just sits down because he's so tired, right? That's the kind of thing that's gonna happen when you're jacked. You don't need big muscles to hit big shots. That's a huge misconception. You do not need big muscles to hit big shots. In fact, most big hitters do not have big muscles. In fact, most big hitters are tall. They're really big, right? But they aren't jacked. You don't need to be jacked to hit big shots. More on that later. And most tennis players are thin, okay? Look at Medvedev, look at Djokovic, look at Federer. They're thin. Obviously, there are a few exceptions like Nadal, who are incredibly jacked. We have to understand that most of their focus is still on their leg muscles. They have enough leg muscles to support their upper body, right? That's the key. Most players are genuinely so skinny. Like, on like the junior tournaments, like some kids are like literally bone skinny. Like you can literally like almost see their bones. That's how skinny they are. Yet they're able to hit like powerful shots. Like guarantee, like took some random big guy from the gym. He's not gonna hit the shot even close to as strong. And some kids like they're jacked, right? But they're so slow. Like some kid like in the juniors, he literally just slaps the ball. Like he cannot move. Like if you hit a single angle, like he's kind of cooked. So where does power come from then? If it's not like I said earlier about like big muscles, big hitting, right? Well, it comes from something called the kinetic chain. You can learn this if you're a tennis player. You know what this is already. If you don't, then it's basically where you're able to connect everything in your motion. Like that's why it's so important to have like a smooth swing. So power comes from the legs and the hips, right? It's the same thing in basketball. Like when you basketball, you don't have like they're jacked, right? They're not like insanely jacked upper body wise, right? Power comes from the legs and the hips, and that's much important to work on. That's why your legs are much important to work on than your upper body because that actually generates more power. You can also get more power from your setup. You can use a more powerful racket. You can also use less tension. Those all increase your power. You don't actually need big muscles. Like what you see what I mean? Like there's so many ways to get more power. There's absolutely no reason to use muscle. In fact, if you try to muscle the ball, not only will you get injured, but you also might be able to not control the ball anymore, right? You won't be controllable. Your motion will be stiff. Your shots actually be less power. And even if you're able to hit the ball with huge power, you're not going to be able to control the ball in. You're going to end up having to increase your tension and use a more control racket, which basically means that you didn't get that additional power in the first place. So if you were to look at the physique of top players, like I said earlier, they're usually thin. They're usually tall and they're thin. Because tall players are actually able to hit the ball harder because they're big. That's just the why. Like a short guy that's like super jacked, they usually don't hit the ball like that big. And in general, working on upper body is still important. Upper body muscles are, I feel like, the most commonly injured areas of your body. So working on those muscles has a huge injury prevention benefit. And especially you need to work on your upper body if you feel tired after playing. It's usually true when you just got sick or you haven't played in a while and you just came back. You're usually going to feel tired upper body wise when you just start playing. Most common areas like usually your shoulder, your back, those kind of muscles. You gotta make sure you work on upper body if that's the case.